Hello, hello, my dear friends. A very warm welcome to you. I thought I'm going to start a couple of minutes early for you to have a chance to settle in, get comfortable, and just get yourself into a nice centered space so you can be fully present, or you're just going to let it run in the background and do some other stuff. That's a lot of times what I do when I follow podcasts. So I'm watching educational videos. Right now, I'm really into Bruce Lipton and Mr. Gabor and some other wonderful teachers, and I just let it run in the background, or I feel I want to immerse myself, then I have my notebook and I'm taking notes. So whatever style works for you. And of course, I'm always inviting you to just watch the recording afterwards, perhaps get a little bit deeper into the exercises I'm going to be sharing with you, whatever style works for you. And that is my intent, that you just get as much out of this as possible, that this is going to be a nice little moment for you to take a breather, to concentrate on yourself, give yourself a little bit of love and some time for yourself, and hopefully learn something, okay? So I've taken quite some time off. It's been a fantastic summer for us. We've had a lot of travel time, especially with the grandkids. I got to spend a lot of time in the mountains and also in the desert. So I'm very, very filled up with energy and lots of motivation. And our practitioner training is going. I'm so excited about that. We are also going to start the Zoom version here in October again. So I'm so excited about that, to be able to invite you guys to actually go to a practitioner training for Quantum NLP, becoming a master of the law of attraction and really looking at how it can be applied in your own life. So thank you everybody who is going to join us live today, and also everybody who is going to watch the recording afterwards. You know it's going to be available on YouTube, and you will have other videos as well that you can immerse yourself in to learn a lot more about quantum NLP and the law of attraction. So welcome everybody. As you're signing in, I see your names in the chat. I'm doing my best to acknowledge you, because you know how I am when I get going on my topic. I'm usually pretty focused. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I so appreciate you being here. This is our sacred circle, and I'm opening my inner sanction to you guys. Usually I have my camera turned around. I kept my mural pretty private because this is my sacred space. This is my temple, my three pyramids in Egypt. That's my home. My spiritual home is right there in those pyramids, and I just transport myself every time I look at this mural. I actually watch it when I'm hanging out in my room, and I just get so much energy from that. So may it also give you lots of energy, and may it entrain you and entrance you in the spiral, getting into your vortex. Alrighty. So what are we going to talk about? Acceptance. I'm so excited. I was at a meditation group this morning, had my wonderful little Clover with me, and that little 3-year-old meditated for 30 minutes without saying a word. I was so amazed. She just relaxed, closed her eyes. Then I saw her looking at the hummingbirds outside for a minute, and then she just was gone with us. It was so fantastic. So on our way back from the meditation group, we saw a deer at the side of the road, and then Clover pointed out that there was a baby deer. So I'm going to see if I caught some of that on a video, and I can share that with you guys later. So that was so special to see a mama deer and her baby deer together at the side of the road, just doing their thing. And that's when it hit me, and I said, oh, I don't even have a topic for today. What am I going to talk about? The first word that came to my mind was acceptance. And don't we all love that word? And don't we all have a little bit of a weird connotation with that word? A little bit of a yearning, a little longing, like, oh, I wish I was better at that. Or, oh, gee, if I could only be more accepting, perhaps of a situation in your life, perhaps of certain people, perhaps of certain circumstances. Some of us deal with sickness and diseases. We deal with illness that we might need to learn to accept because it might be chronic, or it's something that we're currently dealing with and we're hoping that it's going to go by again, and we just need to be able to accept it for right now. Perhaps there are things in your life right now financially that you would like to change. And again, it starts with acceptance. So acceptance is ultimately after awareness, of course. Once you have awareness, then you can do something about it. So until you actually have awareness, there's not really anything happening. So once you have the awareness that something is not right, or it could be better, or you're wishing for something that you don't have right now, Accepting where you're at is the first step. And you all know that logically, right? So today, we're going to dive deeper into some ideas about how you can actually deal with it in that moment and some strategies. Because that to me is the magic of quantum NLP. We're not just saying, oh, yeah, you need to become more accepting in your life. Go ahead and do it. No, we actually offer you step by step instructions, step by step processes that you can use in your own life to immediately start seeing results. And that to me is the power of this wonderful art of NLP, which then married with the law of attraction became quantum NLP. I've been doing that since 2005, and so almost 19 years now of personal exploration, personal journey of figuring this all out for myself, as well as then teaching it to my students and taking it into the world. So having that level of acceptance with what is right now and being okay with it on a deep spiritual level, which means it is not just a superficial acceptance. Okay, there's nothing I can do about it. Oh, that's just the way it is. Mm-mm-mm. No, this is a much, much deeper experience. I accept what is because I understand that it serves me on some level. I understand that there is a deeper purpose in what's happening right now. I understand that it's part of my soul's calling for being here that is being expressed right now in my environment, in my situation, in my circumstances. And we can do that very personally for ourselves. This is my life, and I'm looking at my little circle and what's going on in my own life. We can also do it for our community, my family system, my work system, my neighborhood, my town, and having acceptance with certain things that might be happening in those environments and just being okay with that on a deep spiritual level. It also affects us on a global level. And I know that's where a lot of people struggle, having acceptance to what is happening in the world. And we all have our own burdens that we carry. Some people are more concerned with the animal welfare. Other people are really concerned about nature and what's going on with climate. Other people are thinking about certain laws that we have that they might not agree with. Some people look at other countries and say, I can't believe what's going on there. And then there is just this general acceptance of life itself. Why am I here? What am I doing here? What is my calling? What is my purpose? Why? What am I doing? And how does everything that I have experienced up till now, what I'm experiencing right now, and what I'm kind of projecting into the future, how is all of that actually serving me? How is all of this compelling me further on my journey? How is this helping me to evolve my story? And you know, I love to talk about the hero's journey a lot because that is the quest of the hero, to accept life as it is while they're propelling their journey, while they are on an adventure, while they are discovering new things. So it's always that I'm accepting where I'm at and I'm also looking for what's next. Then I'm moving towards it, then I accept that. And then I'm going to move on again. It's just like when you're a mountain climber, you cannot see the vistas that are behind the mountain that you're currently climbing because it's being covered by the mountain. So you need to get to a certain level, to a certain height, to even see what's beyond. And that's life, you guys. That's what life is all about. And to make it as joyful as possible, that is ultimately the key. And that is ultimately my message, that we can have a good journey. We can have a joyful journey, even when we are dealing with a disease, even when we are dealing with family issues, even when we are dealing with our sorrow for what's happening in other parts of the world and we see people suffer. That is the key. How did I write it in my book? Resilience is ultimately the ability to understand that change is part of life and that we have choice about how we engage with that change. So let that sink in. Resilience, which goes in the direction of acceptance, acceptance is part of resilience, is truly the art of accepting change as part of life and then understanding that we have choice about that. We do not have to suffer through change. Yeah, there's going to be pain. Pain is part of life. And you know what? Pain is sometimes a good thing because it lets us know, oh, shouldn't touch that hot stove. We feel the physical pain of that heat that lets our body know we're not going to do that again. So it can be a teaching tool. Now, suffering, that would be leaving your hand on the hot stove. Suffering is truly a concept that we make up in our own minds, and it is how we engage with change, how we engage with pain that then causes the suffering. I know for some of you that's a little hard to hear because whatever you're dealing with right now is very painful and you do feel that you're suffering. And you know what? If this is the only thing that you can walk away with right now, then blessed be. And I'm so happy for you that this is a tiny little baby step that you can take today and make that distinction between, yes, I acknowledge the pain that I'm in right now, and I understand that I can lessen my suffering in how I think about what I'm engaging in right now and the pain that I'm currently enduring. Okay. So let's do a couple of processes with that because that is always my promise to you that I make things very practical. We're not just talking about the subject, we are really diving into it, and I'm going to teach you some very specific strategies that you then can immediately start applying. Okay. So the first thing is simply accepting your awareness, accepting your acceptance. How funny is that? So let's step into awareness. And that is something you've done many times. You have accepted many times. Do you know that? Do you know that you have changed probably millions of things in your life already? There are so many things, just physiologically, just biologically. Of course, you're constantly going through change. Bruce Lipton talks about how we are shedding billions of cells every day. We are literally regrowing organs every few years. Within 7 years, your whole body is completely new. The you who exists right now biologically does not exist in 7 years. Put that in your brain for a minute. Fascinating. The other thing I'm super excited right now about is that only 1% of our diseases are based on our genealogy, on our genes. Oh my God, that's mind blowing. That's the field of epigenetics. So get into that a little bit if you feel that you're screwed because of the genes that you were giving and certain diseases that were prevalent in your family, in your ancestry. Only 1% of our current diseases are based on our genes. And 90% of our current diseases are based on stress. Well, when stress causes disease, that means that peace, relaxation, and calmness causes health. And acceptance is a huge piece in the pathway to creating that peace and ultimately happiness. And I would like for you to simply acknowledge that within yourself right now. Yes, I have changed many, many, many times in my life. Say that to yourself right now. I acknowledge that I have already changed many, many, many times in my life. And guess what? It's going to keep happening, okay? So say that to yourself a couple of times. I accept the fact that I have already changed many, many times in my life, and I'm going to keep changing, especially with all of us getting a little older every day, right? And it doesn't matter what age you are, we are all essentially on the same pathway that we're getting born, we're growing, we're maturing, and then we're also then ultimately going back to the earth at some point when it's our time. And there is a physiological, biological component to all of this. And just accepting that right now, I would like for you to step into some of those moments in your life when it was very easy for you to accept something. Please go to those places right now. Just think of some of those places in your life, some of those situations where you simply had that internal feeling of, you know what? Doesn't make all sense. I don't get it. I'm confused, whatever it is. But generally, ultimately, I accept where I'm at right now, or I'm accepting the situation. Please go there right now. Just think of a couple of those examples in your own life. Where you just felt a wave of acceptance. So, for example, immediately I have to think of my grandkids. I am constantly amazed by my level of acceptance of these beautiful little children and their ways of being. So yeah, sometimes there's a temper tantrum. Sometimes they don't do exactly what I want them to do. I had a standoff with Clovey yesterday for 20 minutes with that little kid refusing to clean up. And she knew there were all kinds of wonderful consequences. She was going to take a bath. We're going to watch a cool movie, Avatar, The Last Airbender. She was going to have a sleepover. She knew all of that stuff was perfectly laid out to her. And she's just like, no, I'm not going to do it. Oh, well. And I love to turn this into a funny situation and use humor with it. So I'm singing little songs, how much fun cleanup is, and how fun it's going to be when she's going to take a bath, and that kind of stuff. And she's just standing there. And it fascinates me that I'm not getting mad in those moments. It's just like, oh, well, whatever it is, she's going to work through it. And guess what? At some point, the big smile came on again. Okay, Oma, I'm ready now. And I just laugh. I'm like, cool, let's do it. So that to me is an example of in that moment where I could have a million different choices of how I'm going to respond to that child not doing what I want her to do. And the power of acceptance allowed for there to be humor, lightness, okayness, understanding, and just letting her work it out. I wasn't attached to the outcome. That is perhaps another way of thinking about acceptance, that you're okay with how things turn out. I actually posted that in our NLP group this morning, that one of my favorite beliefs is I love to dream big and I'm okay with what shows up. That makes it all possible because it allows me to go crazy in my dreams and go, yeah, anything is possible. And I want to do this, and this is my bucket list, and I have those plans and those wonderful dreams. And then I'm okay with what shows up because that, I'm going to say the words, I believe is God's plan, is the universe guiding me and ultimately giving me exactly what I need for my soul's growth. So having that level of acceptance just by looking at someone else's behavior and then saying, you know what, I'm just going to be okay with it. And they're going to figure it out. It's going to be under their terms. It's going to be on their timeline. I'm okay with that. So that's one example that is super recent that I can think of. And of course, there's millions of examples that I can think of. Being an immigrant, being someone who moved across continents, working in Asia. Oh my goodness, that taught me so much about acceptance because everything is different there. I had to throw so many rules out the window. This is how we do business and this is how we do relationships. Like, just accept that other cultures have other values. Other cultures value other things. Other cultures make other things more important. They have different priorities, and things that might be super important here are not important there versus other things that are absolutely important there, we might go, what? Why would you even care? So that is definitely another area where I can look at becoming more accepting over time. Because when I first started going there, I was all like, well, this is how it's being done. For example, punctuality. That's one of the things I just had to accept. Nobody's on time. Forget it. There are always traffic jams. People always come late and then they're on their phones. I had to learn to accept it. And then I set up specific rules in my classroom that made it so it still was respectful, and that if people chose to be late, oh well, then they had a certain way of integrating them into the group and so on and so on. So in those 14 years of doing that kind of work, I realized, yeah, I definitely have chilled out a lot in my ability to just be okay with a different culture, having completely different rules and priorities and values. So I'm giving you some examples here, okay? So some are very, very personal, and then also more public as well as work related, culturally related. And I think you're going to think of some yourself, right? All right, excellent. So you have already exhibited resilience and acceptance many times in your life. Give yourself credit for that right now. Come on, let's just be in a moment of gratitude and accept the fact that you are already pretty accepting, okay? So give yourself that right now. Let's just breathe that in a few times. And you can say something like, I already am accepting. I have shown acceptance many times in my life. I am accepting. I'm on my path to becoming more accepting. I'm learning to become more accepting. I'm getting really good at accepting. Whatever your level is right now, just affirm that to yourself a few times. Just be with it and enjoy that. I'm becoming more accepting all the time. The older I get, the more accepting I become. Those are all beautiful affirmations. And as long as they ring true to you, as long as you can stand behind it, they're going to be useful to you. How about, I accept myself the way I am? I accept myself for exactly where I'm at right now in my life. I accept my circumstances. Make those kind of statements to yourself right now. Let's bring it into the present moment. I accept myself. I accept others. I accept the love of the universe. Oh my goodness, go there for a minute. Open yourself up. Just imagine all of your chakras opening up right now. From your crown chakra, this beautiful white light opening up, truly creating a vortex right now. That beautiful energy can now flow into your forehead, into that beautiful purple. It can flow into your throat, into this beautiful indigo blue. Now it can flow into your heart chakra as a beautiful green. It can flow into your solar plexus as a beautiful orange. Now it flows under your navel into a beautiful yellow and into your root chakra as a beautiful red. Imagine sitting on a lotus flower and you're now connected to the earth, and the energy can flow from the universe into the earth as the energy also flows from the earth through your root chakra, red, into your second chakra, orange, your third chakra, yellow, your heart chakra, fourth, green, your throat chakra, fifth, blue, your third eye, purple, and your crown chakra, white. Feel that flow. Feel that connection with the universe. Feel fully accepted by the universe. That you are a part of it, that you are a facet of it, you're an expression of it. What a miracle. What a beautiful miracle to be right here, right now. Oh my God, that brings me tears. Just open yourself and be in your vortex. So imagine this beautiful white tunnel, like a white, white tunnel around you. A channel. Open yourself up. Just imagine all of your chakras opening up right now and just feel that beautiful acceptance from the universe. The universe loves you 100% without any conditions, without any kind of addendums or stipulations, just pure, pure, pure love. So give yourself that right now. And know that the universe accepts you exactly the way you are right now. Feel that with all your heart. Feel that with every fiber of your being. And feel that oneness with the universe. Feel it fully and completely. That you are one with everything that is. And then stretch out your arms and just embrace humanity. All the people, all those 8+ billion people that we are on this planet right now. We are all one. And we're all in training each other. We cannot not do it. That's what quantum physics so clearly shows us, that we are all entangled, that we are all one, we all belong together. So feel that acceptance from and for humanity, and then extend it to all life on earth. Just imagine that. Feel that oneness, feel that acceptance for and from, and just being a part of it. Thank you, Earth. Thank you, beautiful universe, for this incredible gift. Nice. And let that flow into a situation that you're currently struggling with. What is something that you feel that you're currently suffering? What is a circumstance in your life? And you know how I love to talk about the 5 areas. There is your personal health and well-being, which is, of course, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. Then there is the arena of your finances, your abundance, the arena of your relationships, from your very inner circle all the way out to your connection with the world. There is your career, which is also your legacy. What is the footprint that you want to leave behind? What is that impact that you want to make? What is that, what we will talk about when you have gone, and the stories that we share about you? What is the impact you want to make in your life? And then, what is your lifestyle? What kind of lifestyle do you want to live? For example, doing miniatures is super important to me. Doing crafts, painting, creating beautiful things, surrounding myself with beautiful things and things from nature. I love to travel. I love to take pictures, and I love to play with my grandkids. That's my favorite thing in the whole world, is to hang out with them. So if you were to actually see behind me, there's the Barbie house. Oh yeah. And currently we have a dinosaur park, and we have a spa, and we have an aquarium that our Barbies get to visit a lot. So those are the things that I consider part of my happiness when I think about my lifestyle. So again, your personal health and well-being, your finances and abundance, your relationships personally and professionally, your career and legacy, and your lifestyle. Where are you not happy right now? Where do you feel that you're suffering? Where do you feel disconnected from the universe? Where do you feel not that you're moving forward? Okay, so just pick something very specific. And then I would like for you to just put this out there like a movie screen so you can look at it. Make a movie out of it. Just see yourself in your circumstance right now and why it hurts, why you're not happy with what's happening right now. All right. And I'm going to choose ultimately aging, and especially when it comes to loved ones in my life who are currently in the aging process, and my acceptance of that and how I'm engaging with that, to see how some of my loved ones are struggling in their aging process, with my parents getting older, some of my older relatives getting older. And every time I see them, it's that, oh my goodness, I don't know if this is the last time, because I do know that they have some pretty hardcore diseases that they're dealing with. Well, they're just at that time where it's natural for us to depart. So that is acceptance that I would like to increase in my own life, especially going home next week and getting to be with my parents again and my relatives that I'm so much looking forward to seeing again. So going there with just a natural acceptance of like, yeah, that's just the way life is. And we all have our lifespan. That's between us and God. It's between us and the universe. Nobody else's business. That's just between us and whatever our journey is. So I want to just show up in this really high level of acceptance and understanding of what is, and that it's okay. It's okay the way it is. So that's my example that I'm going to be working on today. And I would like to encourage you. I did turn it off. And why is it still ringing? Isn't it fun? Well, I'm accepting this phone call right now. Isn't that funny that just showed up? How can this be when I literally turned my phone on silent? Oh, well, universe is like, accept that, girlfriend. Isn't that funny? Okay, let's go with that. Technology, right? Okay, I accept it. I accepted that this just happened. And actually, it's pretty humorous, right? That it's happening right here, right now, as I'm talking about. That's just hilarious. So thank you for humor. Thank you for calling me on it. And thank you for letting me practice what I'm preaching, right? Because right now, it's definitely, I need to manage my emotions. I can't believe this just happened. Yeah, I can get really mad about this. And you know what? I would have. I would have gotten mad about that. Perhaps even 5 years ago, I would have gotten really mad about that. I can't believe this just happened. Who dares? And by the way, it was potential spam. Isn't that funny? That's just hilarious. So now it's, wow, look at the perfection how that just showed up. That was totally meant to be. Thank you, phone. Thank you, person who just called me, and whatever just didn't work and it's still turned off. That's just absolutely hilarious. So I hope that gave you a smile as well. and that you can go to your own situation of acceptance. So it can be very tiny little things, or it can be very big life-changing stuff that you need to accept so that you can find more happiness and peace of mind in your own life. All right? So let's go to that right now. Put it on the movie screen so you're not physically, emotionally having to experience it. You're sitting in a theater, you can watch it. You're more detached. You don't have to step into the emotions of it. You can experience it as an observer. It gives you a little bit more neutrality, okay? So give yourself that. So I'm looking at my situation, my own aging process, things that are, starting to hurt. My right hip is giving me some issues right now. I'm proactively working on reducing my varicose veins. I'm dealing with some teeth issues that I'm taking care of. My hair getting whiter and grayer. Just little signs where you're like, oh yeah, flabby arms. Right? We all have our list. We all have our list. So I'm just looking at myself on my screen over there with all those little boo-boos and all those little complaints that I'm having. And then I'm also looking, like I said, at my family system, the aging process that's happening there right now. Some of the fears I have for my parents, for my loved ones. And just gather information. For right now, we're just gathering information, okay? And then we're going to do something very special. Remember when we just opened ourselves to the love of the universe and being in our vortex, opening all of our chakras, feeling that beautiful white light from the universe flowing in and out of us, coming from the top, coming from the bottom. Just imagine that, being in that beautiful flow of energy, and you're open, you're connected, you're feeling loved, you're feeling accepted, and you're accepting. And that I'm going to invite right now to step into your movie. Step into your movie right now. I'm going to do it too. I'm stepping into my movie right now, and I'm taking the fearful Christiana in my arms. So just give yourself a big hug. The you who is fully energized and loved by the universe can now go into that situation, whatever you're fearing, whatever you're suffering under, whatever your pain is right now, whatever you're complaining about. You who is connected with the universe, who's fully loved by the universe and totally open in your vortex, steps into the situation and simply give yourself a hug and just hold yourself. Just hold yourself for a minute and let all that beautiful love that you just experienced yourself flow into you. The you who's afraid, the you who judges, the you who feels disconnected. And just keep flowing that energy. Visualize their chakras opening, entrain them into your openness, entrain them into your way of being with the vortex right now. So just imagine that, how you're entraining yourself. You can call it your higher power, you can call it your higher self. Your higher self is now together with your human self in that moment of fear or disconnection, and you're simply entraining yourself to this beautiful energy of the universe and being open. So see the you who's afraid, their chakras opening, the light flowing through them. They're being connected to Mother Earth. They're open to Father, Son. Just imagine that. The male and the female coming perfectly together, all balanced, whole and complete. You're congruent, you're aligned, you're open. Now I'm asking you to actually float into yourself. So we're letting our higher self go, and we're going to float out of our higher self, who's already totally open to the universe, and we're going to float into our human self right now in that situation. So be there right now. So if you're afraid because there is a physical thing going on, float into yourself right now and fully receive that gift. If you're worried about your finances right now, fully float in that self and then receive that gift. If you're dealing with relationships issues right now, fully float into that self and then receive the gift from your higher self. Open up your chakras. Open up the flow of the universal love. If it's something at your work right now, if it's something about your legacy and you're worried about the impact that you're having on the world right now, let it just flow into that self and enjoy that beautiful acceptance and love from the universe. And anything that has to do with your lifestyle right now, just imagine that that self is also being encouraged and entrained into the high vibration right now. Breathe it in. See your higher self right in front of you. See how their chakras are literally glowing. They're magnificent. That's how beautiful you are. See how beautiful you are. Do you feel that? When you are in your higher self, it is magnificent. Magnificent. When you're in your vortex, you're open and that beautiful light can flow into you. This is your higher vibration. This is your gratitude, your bliss, your happiness, peace of mind, compassion, passion, freedom, trust, faith. Oh, all those wonderful, wonderful resources are always available to you. And right now you have full access to it. So see that you, that higher you, that universal you, that loving you, the accepting you right in front of you. And then they literally imprint you. Yes. Allow their energy to flow fully into you so that the human you right here, right now, can also fully experience that. Give yourself that gift. Wow. Never know what happens in those moments. It's awesome. I love it. So give yourself that. Feel how your crown chakra opens up. Feel how your third eye opens up. Your voice box gets activated. Your heart opens up. Your solar plexus, your navel, and your root. Feel the connection with Mother Earth. Be that clean channel, that open channel between the above and the below, the male and the female perfectly coming together, intermingling with each other, creating that beautiful wholeness of who you are. It is reflected in every fiber of your being, in every little tiny cell. It is reflected in your brain, right hemisphere, left hemisphere. It's the working together, it's the alignment that creates that happiness, that openness, that acceptance. So give yourself that in that situation that you're in right now. And then imagine, what does this do for me that I'm now feeling that level of love and connection with the universe, that level of support? And how is this now going to change my relationship with my physical body and health issues that I might be dealing with, my financial situation that I'm complaining about, my work situation that I'm complaining about, my relationship situation that I'm complaining about, my lifestyle situation that I'm complaining about? I want you to really experience how is it going to be different from now on when I can open myself up to that level of acceptance of myself, of the universe, from the universe, of my situation, of my soul's journey. And just notice what comes to your mind. So the first thing that came to my mind immediately was open communication. I am so intent, and of course, by me putting this out there now, I'm really holding myself accountable to have super open conversations with my loved ones, where I'm very openly going to share my own journey and how I'm dealing with my own fears, my own shortcomings, my own healing journey, my own transformation, how I deal with change, how I deal with life. And my hope is by openly sharing myself that I'm also creating a pathway, perhaps for someone else to open themselves up and share with me as well. And of course, I'm going to accept however it's going to come back to me. See, a gift is not about the other person receiving it. The power of the gift is the joy that you get from giving. And then it's up to the other person what they want to do with it. And that is 100% their business. So there is a level of acceptance as well as you're engaging with other people, and they still have the choice to do with what you give them whatever they want. I promise to myself with this little meditation that I am going to be open and encouraging in my communication, in sharing myself, and then leave it up to the universe, whatever is going to happen with it. So that's one very specific thing that I'm now committing myself to. And it's going to start in a week from now. I'm going to be actually arriving in Germany exactly in a week. So 12 o'clock here right now. So yeah, that's exactly when I land. Wow, touching down on the ground. I know I'm going to be fully grounding myself. Whoosh, I'm here and I'm going to make the most of it. And for many years, I've said, I'm here to make beautiful memories. And the memories become more and more beautiful every time I go, because the heartfelt connection that I do have with the people that I engage with are really meaningful and powerful. So I'm sharing my own examples so that you also get to draw on your own conclusions, and it encourages you to think of your own examples, okay? So I would like to ask you, when I now, you, am in training myself to my higher self, to my soul self, to my God self, whatever you want to call it, and I'm fully experiencing how beautiful it is when all of my chakras are open and I feel connected to the universe, how my level of acceptance rises phenomenally. What are some practical things that are going to come out of it? How are you going to think differently? How are you going to act differently? How are you going to feel differently? When I think of acceptance, I know that my trust gets increased. So I know that I'm going to practice a lot of trust and that I'm at the right place at the right time with the right people doing the right thing. It's just perfect the way it's supposed to happen. And I can trust that. It's going to be awesome. And I hope that you're getting some very clear answers yourself. And if you don't, then be okay with that. Because right now, just accept the answers that you are getting and know that they are correct for where you're at right now. And then I definitely encourage you to do some more research on your own. Go into some of those YouTube videos and look at some of those channels and see what people say about acceptance or stoicism, which is such a huge word nowadays. Any kind of psychological arts or healing arts that you're interested in, do some research, find out more about it. Find your own ways, and also definitely watch this video again once we're done and I'm posting the recording, where you can now that is just so sweet. I just love this. I was going to say that as an example too, by the way. I'm like, oh, the next time this happens again. So yeah, humor is my number one resource. And this is actually a phone call I have been expecting, so the timing is just absolutely hilarious. Hi, Julie. That is awesome. Oh, blessed be. Yeah, humor, you guys, is huge. I learned that in my NLP training, how wonderful humor is, to just calm down, embrace serenity, embrace life the way it is. And it's getting better. It's really getting better. So now I can laugh about that stuff. It's like, isn't that funny? It just happened again. Wow. Yeah, and usually doesn't. Isn't it funny? Exactly today, huh? Timing is perfect always. So, I would like for you to now map that into your own example as well. Whatever you're dealing with, and however deeply you think you're suffering right now, how horrible the pain is that you're dealing with right now, especially if it's physical, because I know it's so vivid. It's so vivid where it's like, no, man, it really, really hurts right now. How am I supposed to accept that? Allow your higher self, allow your God self, your universe self, the self of you that's in the vortex to be there for you. And I promise you, it will change. It will change. So for right now, give yourself that gift. Receive the embrace from your higher self. So fully lean into the embrace now and just enjoy it. Be loved. Allow yourself to be loved. Accept the love of your higher self. Just be with it and let them entrain you Let them entrain you. Feel it right now. Let's lock it in through some kind of a movement, some kind of yay. Perhaps you use a little phrase. I fully accept the gift of acceptance from my higher self. I fully feel the love of the universe. I give myself to my journey. Whatever words work for you. I accept my circumstances knowing that I'm going to move forward. I accept what's happening right now as part of my bigger journey. I accept myself. I accept my life. I love myself. I love my life just the way it is right now. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So just do all of that in the embrace of yourself. Lean into yourself. Fully let go, just like a little kid when they put their head on your shoulder. There is this, oh, that is the sweetest thing in the world because you know they're totally safe in that moment. They're totally giving themselves to you in that moment of just like, ah, allow yourself that right now to just lean into your higher self and being embraced and loved and held. And let it all go. That's right. And then as you look around yourself, your circumstances that you're dealing with, the events, your conditions. Notice the new behaviors, the new thoughts and feelings you now have available to you. Remember, you have all the resources of the universe already within you. There's nothing new you have to learn or discover. It's already all there. It's just becoming aware of it and accepting it into your life. So say to yourself, I already have everything I need within me. It's all there. It's just opening those doors, digging it up, letting it out. And with that, I wish you a wonderful journey for the rest of today, into tomorrow, into the next week, into the next months, into the next year, and the rest of your life. That from now on, you can accept yourself, the universe, and your journey on a higher level because ultimately you are the hero of your quest. And I wish you that you always have that little inkling in the background of your mind, knowing that everything is perfect just the way it is, and that you are perfectly where you're supposed to be. Everything that's happening right now is here to serve you. And with that, my dear friend, namaste. The God in me honors the God in you. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm so grateful for your support, for your openness to the teachings of Quantum NLP and the law of attraction. And if you weren't here, I wouldn't do these seminars. So thank you. You're encouraging me on my journey, and I appreciate and love you for that. Have a wonderful day, and I'm going to see you again in 2 weeks, okay? Until then, bye.